Every meaningful moment in life begins with one fundamental skill, the ability to connect through conversation. Yet, so many of us struggle with those painful pauses, those awkward silences that make us question our worth. What if I told you that awkward silence has nothing to do with your personality, but with your preparation? Just as you wouldn't expect to play a concerto without practice, you can't expect to master communication without understanding its principles. In the next 8 minutes, you'll discover the same 3 principles I learned and applied in my life from world-class communicators that completely changed how I approach. Now, before we delve in, here's the uncomfortable truth schools never taught you. In every conversation, you're either depositing value or withdrawing it. Awkward silence happens when we focus on what we can get rather than what we can give. Stop trying to think of what to say next. Instead, focus on discovering what's valuable in the other person. Every human being is a treasure chest of experiences, wisdom, and stories waiting to be unlocked. When you approach conversations with this mindset, something miraculous happens. The pressure disappears. You're no longer performing, you're exploring, and people can sense the difference. So let's get right into it. Here are the 3 principles that helped me overcome awkward silence and build lasting conversations that led to big relationships. 1. The principle of curiosity. I had to learn that great communicators aren't interesting, they're interested. They understand that questions are the keys that unlock the treasures of human potential. When you ask with genuine curiosity, you're not just making conversation, you're honoring the other person's journey. So the next time you have a conversation with someone, replace your first question with a backward question. Instead of, "What do you do?" ask, "How did you come to do what you're doing now?" This will trigger storytelling mode in the person's brain, leading them to give longer, more passionate responses. Make sure to listen for unusual words in their answer, like "actually" and "surprisingly," as these mark emotional hotspots to explore further. 2. The discipline of presence. I realize that most people listen to reply, with only a few listening to understand. However, in a world of distractions, your undivided attention becomes your greatest gift. So try to focus on the words people emphasize when they speak. You can keep the conversation flowing by simply pausing for 3 seconds, then mirroring a word they emphasized. For example, "You said exhausting, tell me more about that." Make sure to match their tone, excited, quiet before speaking. 3. The art of connection. True connection happens when you find common ground, not just in interests, but in values. Look beyond surface similarities to the deeper why behind what people share. So when you hit a dead end in a conversation, try to pivot to one of these. What's something you believe that most people disagree with? Or what's your favorite small pleasure in life? If you implement just one of these today, you'll notice something fascinating. People will start describing you as a great conversationalist. But here's the game changer. Silence isn't your enemy, it's your ally. The masters know that pauses have purpose. They create space for reflection, for emphasis, for anticipation. So today I challenge you to rethink every conversation as an opportunity to leave a legacy. Not of how witty you were, but of how understood someone felt. Not of how much you spoke, but of how deeply you listened.